All right, so let's hit you with some truths. Most solo travelers, they're not growing, they're just changing their scenery. Live from Bangkok. Hey there, World on Wi-Fi fam. Today we're going to be talking about something interesting. You know all those Instagram posts that they talk about how traveling solo will turn you into an enlightened guru? Yeah, about that. This video might make you uncomfortable, or it might give you a new perspective. In this video, I'm going to be diving into why your solo adventures might be holding you back and not pushing you forward. We'll explore the comfort traps, the party pitfalls, and the mindset mistake that keeps you stuck. Don't worry, it's not all doom and gloom, because by the end of this video, you're gonna turn your solo adventures into catalysts for personal growth. You're going to learn how you can break free from your portable comfort zones, get meaningful intentions for your journey, engage with local cultures that actually challenges your perspective, and transform your solo travels from escapism to personal revolution. If you're ready to get uncomfortable and unlock the full potential of your solo adventure travel, then stick around for this video and make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I drop a new video. And also, we have a community of like-minded travel explorers, so make sure you click the link in the description somewhere to join that community so you can also travel and expand your mind. Thank you so much. Yes. All right, so I got myself a snack, and I'm gonna go to this park. We're gonna enjoy this snack, and then let's talk more. Okay, if you don't know me, my name is Imtiaz. I've been traveling the world for the last 10 years. In the last 4 years, I've been traveling as a digital nomad. But my journey in traveling started when I left my country, Bangladesh. I left everything behind in search of new opportunities, in search of a different perspective. Because I understood that there's a bubble, this invisible matrix we all live in. On one particular occasion, I went to San Juan, Puerto Rico. San Juan is the capital of Puerto Rico. As you know, Puerto Rico is one of the states in the US. Okay, so I'm like, well, this is gonna be great. I love exploring new places, islands, and I often go to the hostels because, you know, in the hostels you get to meet a lot of interesting characters. I don't necessarily like to stay in the hostel, meaning I don't like to sleep there because I can't work, and there's a lot of noise, there's a lot of parties. I'm not saying partying is bad or whatever, but I'm just saying sometimes you get too carried away. You get lost in that kind of environment. So we're all sitting down having drinks, and we see this girl come in with 3 or 4 bags, big bags, you know, luggage. She had 2 people like help her tug it along, and she sits down at the table with us. We invite her for a drink. She's a great person, a lot of interesting stories. This is her first time traveling outside of her home state. I believe it's South Carolina. And let's just call her Karen, okay? No pun intended. So she sits down at the table with us, and amazing conversations, very funny, and already I could tell she's trouble because she was talking about some stuff that she bought with her, and I'm not gonna say what it is. She started drinking a lot of tequila shots, a lot of drinks, and more than usual. And at that time I was like, okay, something's kind of off here. And then all of a sudden she stands on the table and then she says, I just want to dance. She says, I just want to dance. I can't forget that scene. It's almost like yesterday because everybody's watching, but at the same time we're like, wow, this is interesting. And we learned that she just went through a breakup, and then she had some stuff going on in her life. That's all great because it just goes to show that we all have this thing in us to break away, to break free from the conditioning, to get out of toxic relationships, to get out of environments that keeps you stuck, right? And that's the same reason why I traveled outside of Bangladesh. I went to the US, but I realized this condition exists everywhere that keeps you stuck, right? And that's the same reason why I traveled outside of Bangladesh. I went to the US, but I realized this condition exists everywhere. First time I left Bangladesh, I just didn't know what to do, and it was hard, but I had to adapt. I had to learn how to deal with it. I remember there was a McDonald's or Burger King right next to my dorm, and I used to eat there every day for lunch. And it wasn't a lot, just maybe 1 or 2 hamburgers. And after a year or two, I became so overweight that I couldn't recognize myself, right? I was like, wait, this is not me. This is not normal. I've never been so overweight. And then I started cooking at home. I started to learn how to cook. I never cooked at home before. Even my mom is surprised. I didn't know you can cook and stuff. But it just goes to show that there's always an opportunity to learn and grow and think about a new environment as a new experience so you can start from scratch. That's why I'm always excited when I'm going to a new city. All right, so let's start with the hard truth. Many of you are traveling while you're dragging your entire life with you. Yeah, I'm looking at you with the oversized luggage and the familiar snacks from home. This is interesting in Bangkok. Exercise is a big part of their culture. I've noticed the same thing in Brazil, where I almost feel like I'm not really fat or anything like that, but I just feel like, man, I could do better. It just goes to show, how you can absorb the local, like the circuit here. So in Brazil, for instance, in Sao Paulo, it was interesting because everybody was running with their shirt off, and it almost felt uncomfortable, but it also pushed me to become better and look good without my shirt off. That's why I'm here to understand, how people are living their life day to day in Bangkok. Okay, you go to the local park, you see them working out, etc. It's great. It's a great experience, and I encourage you to do that. Get out of your hotel or wherever you are and start embracing and connecting with the local environment. Again, this might make you feel uncomfortable. This might be the hard truth to swallow. But understand this, growth really happens outside of our comfort zone. Now, I'm going to reveal to you how most travelers actually recreate their entire bubble while they're traveling. Okay, so instead of traveling for growth, they're just stuck in that echo chamber or the same pattern of thinking. So one of the first things is overpacking. You are here to experience life. You're not a snail. You're not supposed to carry your entire home with you in your backpack. Instead, think about what you really need to survive for a long period of time, okay? You don't have to be attached, and this will also give you perspective about the things that you are attached to, okay? So if you're attached to certain things at home, certain material things, it's time to break away from that attachment and start thinking about what you really need. A lot of people could be watching this video and saying to themselves, Well, Imtiaz is wrong because I went to Thailand and I did yoga. I took this all-inclusive yoga package for 5 days and we did yoga, we had vegan food, or you could be in Mexico trying vegan tacos and all that kind of stuff. This is all a way for you to recreate the same bubble that you are living in your current environment. Understand this, really pay attention to what I'm saying because you could be onto something. So, you know who are my favorite people when I'm traveling? Okay, everybody has a favorite people that they want to learn from. Like for example, one of my favorite people to hang around with is Americans from America, but living outside of America. You know, it's interesting, but at the same time, it's like, what happened to you? You know, what led you to? And again, there's like stereotypes, conditioning, belief system. There's like a lot of things that hold people back, and it's not just America. It's just everywhere in the world, right? And I see these people, and I'm like, let me understand where you're coming from. Let me see. Let me try to learn something from you. Now, the great thing about Americans is like they're very detail oriented. I remember when I first went to the US, I just had so many options. When I went to order food in the driveway, I just saw so many options. I was like, wow. Back home in Bangladesh, all I just said, give me a burger with cheese. That's it. But in the US, you have to be very picky. Like, hey, I don't like onions, I don't this and that. But by being detail oriented, you can see the world through a different lens. Okay, because then you can pick out specific details and really understand and break down problems to a really fine level. There's also this thing with the food familiarity that I notice a lot of my American friends still can't get away from. Okay, because one of my buddy, he's from Texas. So I love this guy, you know, I learn a lot from him, especially business and all that kind of stuff. But I just can't go and have any food with him because like every time we go out, we're having pizza, fast food, hamburgers, even in Thailand, even in South America, right? It's that goes back to what I'm saying is the food familiarity. A lot of you are not used to the local food in a different country. So stop having pizza in Thailand, stop having vegan tacos in Mexico. You might even experience this, right? I don't know if you did, but if you've been traveling for a while, you're probably gonna see these patterns too. People love to belong to something. You know, they see something that looks like them, that talks like them, or whatever, and they like to be in that bubble, in that comfort. So even if you leave your country, even if you do some solo travel, you might find yourself hanging around with the same people, creating your own echo chambers, your own bubble again. Okay, these are like repeating patterns. This doesn't happen in a day. This doesn't happen in your first solo adventure. So if this is your first time out of the country, I'm proud of you. You've done a great job. But it's now time for you to start thinking and start expanding your perspective and your horizon. Look beyond your social bubble. Look beyond your comfort zone. And start getting rid of certain attachments that you're attached to. And this is not unique to me. This is something we all experience as travelers, okay? Sometimes I just want to get a drink, hang out with some friends, and just, explore the beach. This is great. But understand this, that true growth and personal development happens when you have the courage to stand apart, when you have the courage to break away from social conditioning, when you can break out of your own comforts to question not just the culture you came from, but also the travel culture you're tempted to adopt. Now, here's what I learned. Discomfort. Discomfort is a sign of growth. If you're always in comfort mode, then you're not challenging yourself. You're not growing. Understand this. Your unique perspective is your superpower. Don't try to fit in. Instead, stand out. So be genuine and don't be afraid to stand out and just be yourself. A personal confession, and maybe it's because of my personality type. I'm an INTJ, so I've never found myself fitting in, not with the hostel crowd, not with the luxury five-star hotel travelers or the co-working crowd in Bali. You know what? A lot of you people might be thinking, well, that's weird, but exactly, that's the point. And you also have to come with the mindset of not knowing anything, okay? A lot of you guys might have traveled to 100 countries, but you've learned nothing from these countries. It might be difficult. They might call you the weird one. You're just different. But that's exactly why you need to embrace your true potential and your uniqueness. And maybe it means you have to embrace loneliness for a while. That way you can do self-reflection, you can meditate, and you can have the courage to meet other people. So get out there. It is to help you grow into a unique, incredible person that you are. Alright, World on Wi-Fi fam and travel lovers, we are coming to an end in our journey, in our adventure, and it looks like it's about to rain, or actually it's raining over here. Now, like I promised, I'm gonna give you some practical sauce so that you can start applying some of the things that I'm teaching you in your next travel adventure. Here's a challenge for the next trip. Pack half of what you think you need. You're going to eat local food for the whole week. Get out of your hotel, find a food court or a food cart, and start eating out. Try different things. Strike up conversations with locals you don't know. Get out of your social bubble. And also embrace the awkwardness of language barriers. And it's totally fine. You're not supposed to speak the local language. You have Google Translate. You have other language apps that you can use to communicate. Even if you have to say thank you or hello, or how's your day? Just do it because it's going to help you see a different side of the world that you've never experienced before. All right, now, a lot of you guys are younger and you love to party, and it's totally fine. I love party too. Not all the time, but sometimes. And travel is fun. You should enjoy yourself. But if the idea of finding yourself involves finding the end of every beer bottle in your travels, then we need to talk. All right, so let's break down the party traveler mindset. FOMO-driven itineraries, rushing from one must-see party destination to another, hangover tourism, spending your days recovering instead of exploring. Now, I'm not saying you can't ever let loose. I don't want to be the party pooper right here, but ask yourself, are you traveling to grow or are you traveling to escape? Here's some more sauce, how you can inject purpose in your travels. Set intentions before each trip. Write down 3 things you want to learn from that place and grow. I know journaling sounds boring, but if you spend 10 minutes a day just writing down what you learned from your experience every day, then you're going to grow faster than you have ever imagined. You can also choose destinations based on what you'd like to learn. For example, you can learn surfing in Bali, you can learn meditation in India, you can come to Thailand, and you can even learn how to cook authentic Thai food. So while you're eating Thai food, you can also learn to cook it, so you can go home and also cook that delicious food. Partying is fun, but it's also about balance. So for every party destination, also pick another destination that's going to help you grow, and you can learn something about that unique experience. Remember, solo travel isn't just about escaping your life, it's about building the life you don't need to escape from. Remember, the world is vast, complex, and beautiful, but the most important journey is the journey that happens within you. So the next time you're planning for a trip, ask yourself, am I packing for comfort or am I packing for growth? All right, this is Imtiaz from World on Wi-Fi, challenging you to travel deeper, grow stronger, and live authentically. Now, if this video resonated with you, hit the like button, subscribe, and also hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I drop some truth bombs. And if you have personal stories, make sure you share it in the comments so we can all learn from your experience. Until next time, don't be afraid to explore the world outside and also inside.